left off on the Selena, right? Selena and the Hailey Gomez. Selena and the Hailey Gomez, what the fuck? So I'm gonna finish the remainder of this video. What I really just wanted to get to was the copying claims and the copying accusations regarding Hailey and Selena, okay? So I got a download, I'm not gonna lie, I did. And I just wanna explain this. I wanna explain this because number one, in the previous video, me and a commentator or one of my fellow subscribers, I don't know, but one of you guys that commented and we both like came to the same conclusion of, okay, these people are getting paid to do this. They're getting paid to paint Selena in a negative light and paint Hailey in a positive light to just, I don't know, whatever. And when I was watching the video, that is the first thought that came to my mind, is that these people are getting paid to do this, right? Okay, cool. So the second download and the second realization that I came down to is that, oh, okay. So for a minute, I was being slightly convinced through that video that, I don't know, there may be some type of like mishaps within the comparisons between the two when they say that Hailey is the one that is obsessing over Selena, when they're saying that she's copying her and all that type of stuff like that. For a minute through the scandalous video, I was slightly convinced through some of the information that was provided that we're also going to dive into this video. However, this is the download that I came down to, y'all, because this is it. This is what it is. This is what it is, okay? I'm just gonna be real. And I'm not saying that Selena is innocent. I'm not saying she's not a mean girl. I'm not saying none of that. I'm not saying, but as far, we're talking about Hailey being weird. We're talking about Hailey being obsessive. We're talking about Hailey having some type of mental illness. We're talking about Hailey being a copycat, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? A stalker, whatever the fuck. We're talking about that, okay? We do still have to come down to the realization that we are discussing destiny swapping when we're talking about this, right? Stated in my last video, I stated that when someone is a stalker, or when someone is being obsessive, when they're trying to replicate you, when they're trying to destiny swap with you, do all of these things, etc., 9 times out of 10, these things are done in secret. They don't want people to know, okay? They don't want the public to know that they're doing these things behind the scenes. Now, for a minute, they think it's cool because they're so delusional, because we're talking about people who destiny swap with you, okay? Because I'm still convinced that Hailey has a mental illness and she is obsessed with Selena, okay? But we're still gonna dive into this, okay? First of all, when someone is trying to destiny swap with you, they're so delusional. At first, they think it's cool. They think it's cool to buy it off of you. They think it's cool to replicate you, duplicate you, whatever the fuck they're trying to do, whatever. Until it gets to the point where people start calling it out. When people start calling it out, they start doing weird things to conceal it, to conceal the actions that they're doing behind the scenes, because they don't want the truth to come to light. They wanted to make it seem like they're the original. They wanted to make it seem like, I don't know, that everybody else is crazy. That's what it is. They want to make it seem like everybody else is crazy. The people who are making the accusations are crazy. It's all just in your head when it's really not. So the download, the realization that I came down to, because I've been destiny swapped. Well, no, I haven't. Hold on, let me reverse them words. I've been a victim of an attempted destiny swap, okay? And one of the things that I noticed is that people who try to destiny swap with you, they go to the extremes of finding any way possible to keep a narrative, their narrative that they want going. I wouldn't put it past it that Hailey is actually paying these people to come out and rebut every single thing that everybody is pointing out and exposing, okay? That's what she has to do, because she doesn't want to be the crazy one. She doesn't want to seem like, and you know what? You know, another thing that I noticed when people like try to destiny swap with you is that because they want to be known as the original, they'll say that like everything that they're copying off of you, you're doing it to them. They're going to try to flip it. They're going to try to say like everything that they're doing to you, you're doing it to them. That's what I noticed in that video. And so I just came down to the realization, okay, Hailey, you crazy. You crazy. You getting exposed. And this is just your little crash out moments to where like you want to do everything in your power to keep your narrative going. You don't really have a narrative. Nobody really believes you like that. Maybe just a slight bit. Just a slight bit. Because I read those comments. And those are people who have no sense of discernment. People who don't really like... They don't really use their brain like that. They're so naive. They're so easy to like manipulate. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be real. They're so easy to manipulate. Okay? But I'm not. Okay? I see every fucking thing, bitch. So with that being said, we gonna finish the motherfucking video. We already came down to it. Hailey, you still a weirdo. You ain't fooling nobody, girl. You're not fooling no motherfucking body. You still a motherfucking weirdo. And that's just what the fuck it is, period. Let's finish.
See, I like Emery, which is E-M-O-R-Y. Emery, insert my husband's last name. Yeah, Hailey Beiber. See, I like Emery. Emery, insert my husband's last name. Yeah, Hailey Beiber.
Or their constant public fights during their romance. The copying claims. We all tend to see what we want to see. This is a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias, when we look for patterns that confirm what we already believe. With only 16 personalities in the world, it's no surprise that people often seem similar or share traits.
Because people so badly want to believe it, they don't even care that there is like a real lack of concrete evidence.
This brings us into a popular theory in the Selena versus Hailey war, and that is the idea that Hailey copies everything Selena does. According to Selena's fans, this is because Hailey has an obsession with Selena and wants everything she has. Sounds a bit immature if you ask me, and truth be told, this entire copying theory is immature and has gotten out of control. The first claim is that Hailey copied Selena by having a cooking show. Yes, the very same idea and segment that has its own network and has been televised for almost a century is suddenly trademarked to Selena Gomez and only Selena Gomez. Selena has Selena Plus Chef and Hailey has What's in My Kitchen, an extension of her YouTube series Who's in My Bathroom. Selena Plus Chef debuted on August 13th, 2020 and has 4 seasons. What's in My Kitchen debuted on April 12, 2023. The first thing that you have to know is that Hailey isn't a singer or actress, and so naturally, she and her team will work on things to build her brand that are personality based. So she started a YouTube channel and has released many different segments on it, such as What's in My Kitchen, Who's in My Bathroom, and there are other segments like makeup tutorials, Get Ready With Me, Get Dressed With Me for the Red Carpet, and even small competitive games. The idea that Selena or Hailey are copying each other because they both post videos of them cooking is like telling someone they're copying you because they like iced coffee. If someone were to actually tell you that to your face, you'd probably laugh out loud. But if we were to stoop down to an intelligence level that finds comprehensive details difficult, one could easily say Selena copied Justin and Hailey with her cooking show since they had their own cooking show on Facebook. On May 6, 2020, Justin and Hailey released a cooking segment on their Facebook called The Biebers on Watch. Here, Hailey taught Justin how to cook pasta, and in another episode, they baked cookies. So if I were to use Selena's fans' logic, then I guess I can easily say that Selena is the one who copied Hailey and Justin since their cooking show took place first in May, while Selena's followed after in August. Another issue people have with Hailey's cooking show is her saying the words, "Yes, this is my real home."
Yes, we actually are in my real kitchen, in my real house.
Apparently the words, "This is my real home," are only trademarked to one person.
This is my real home. Everything that we're doing is at home.
The reason why Hailey clarified that this cooking segment takes place in her real house is because her segment, Who's in My Bathroom, takes place on a set. In the beginning, Who's in My Bathroom was slightly targeted to make us think it was Hailey's real bathroom and we could develop a personal connection with her since she's showing us her real space. It was only after a few episodes did Hailey clarify that they don't actually film in her bathroom, which makes sense if you were to see the activities they did in the bathroom. Another reason why Hailey clarified that it was her kitchen was because she gave a tour of the kitchen. For a lot of people, this is interesting because it's giving us a closer look into the home of Justin and Hailey Bieber.
Yes, we actually are in my real kitchen, in my real house. This is not a set. This is where I really live.
People are interested in seeing the kitchen a celebrity like Justin Bieber uses daily, which is why they didn't clarify at first that the bathroom segment was filmed on a set. Another logical point is simply the fact that many things are staged to look like a person's real home, only for us to find out years later that it was a set this whole time. For example, in one of the seasons of Selena Plus Chef, Selena doesn't even film in her real house. A notorious person who does this often is Meghan Markle, who recently debuted a cooking show as well. In With Love Meghan, the idea is that Meghan is in her own kitchen, using her own garden and such, but the reality is, she is on a set. The same exact thing happened when Meghan and Harry filmed for Netflix. The house they were in was a set. So this idea that Hailey said, yes, we are filming in my actual house, somehow being a copy of Selena saying the same thing, feels incredibly dense. Also, in Justin and Hailey's cooking show back in May, they say they're cooking at home, so again, with that—
Okay, so, okay. So basically, they're saying that Hailey and Justin had a cooking show on Facebook first, okay? I think in 2019. And then that's when they're saying that Selena had her follow-up show in 2020, right? So they're saying, okay, well, basically, that would be her way of like copying them, I guess you could say. But if that was the case, then why is it that, hold on, just being real, because I'm not trying to just think of any rebuttals to say, I'm just being real here. Because if that was the case, like if she was truly copying you, she would have got a partner of her own, you know what I'm saying, to get on there and be like, look, we're cooking, we're doing this. No, it was just her own trade. It was literally a trade marketed thing, right? Is that what? I think that's how you properly say it. Like, it was a professional thing. She was actually on an actual network. It wasn't just like some YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and because of the fact that she was on an actual network, it makes sense that, you know, because here's the thing. They're trying to, like I said, paint Selena in a negative light. And they're saying, well, this isn't even Selena's actual home. Okay, well, it makes sense that it's not her actual home because she's actually filming for an actual network. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Hailey, she's not filming for an actual network. She's doing shit for YouTube because she's not an actual singer or an actual actress. I don't even know what the fuck she is. To be quite frankly honest, I don't even know what she is. So if that was the case, why, like, so that still doesn't really correlate. And again, with Hailey, you're stating, this is my real home. This is my real house. If you already had a cooking show on Facebook in your real home, in your real house, I don't understand why does that have to be reiterated. You're not on a set. You're not filming for a network. So that's not really something that has to be announced. You know what I'm saying? Just because you made another video that was actually on a real set, which everybody knows because you're in a bathroom. Who the fuck eats macaroni in the fucking bathroom? It's clear that you're not in your actual fucking bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in your kitchen, that's not really something that has to be announced, especially when people have photos that's already seen online of your fucking house. They can put two and two together like they've already been fucking doing. So, and then another thing I also noticed is that she even, and I'm not trying to make a reach, she even kind of sounded like Selena when she was like, yes, this is my real home, this is my real house. You know, when people destiny swap, they try to do things very, very in particular to you. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't really looked at Selena's show. So I haven't really paid attention to when she said like, this is my real home, this is my real house. So I haven't paid attention to like her hand gestures and things like that in particular to like compare the two. However, like I just noticed how she even slightly sounded like Selena when she said that. You know what I'm saying? So still, I just debunked that. Like, no.
Logic, the only person showing up second is Selena, as per usual.
At home, going to cook a special dish.
Another issue people had with Hailey's cooking show was the fact that she brought her Nana in an episode. Why? Because Selena also brought her Nana onto her cooking show. We are now gatekeeping grandmothers.
Nothing concerns me more about the...
You know what's so funny is that they're trying to call the audience immature, but you're the one that sounds immature while trying to make your point within the video. Because it's like every accusation that's being made, you're trying to make it seem like, oh, so now we're gatekeeping this. So is Selena the only one that can do this? Is Selena the only one that can do this? It's not like that. It's not, it's, okay.
Lack of media literacy that people have than this viral 7-part series about Hailey, Selena, and Justin. And I didn't even need to watch that entire video to know that I was going to be watching a bunch of bullshit. But just so we're clear, I investigated several claims within the first like 90 seconds, and there are multiple lies. So if a video is set up to start with lies, what do you think you're gonna get throughout the rest of the video?
Just like Selena has brought her friends and grandparents on the show, Hailey has also included friends, her mom, and grandmother on the show. And for the fun of it, Meghan Markle has also included her alleged friends on the show. You know who else brings her grandmother and everything? Ariana Grande. Ariana has made her Nona a focal point in her iconic songs such as Bloodline, Ordinary Things, and Daydreaming.
Why are you bringing up things that do not correlate? Does Ariana have a cooking show? No. It's very common that obviously people use grandmothers, you know, in important events. Like, that's like a very known thing. However, you have to line it up to where it actually is rational, to where it makes sense. Why are you bringing up Ariana when Ariana doesn't even have a fucking cooking show? Why? She even mentions her in some of her songs. You just said Hailey isn't a singer, so how does that correlate? Like, what? Like, what the fuck? And another thing, like, you want to bring up Meghan Markle. Okay, you said she even brought her friends on the show. Did she bring her grandmother on the show? Is she using the same mannerisms? Did she say, this is my real home, this is my na-na-na? Like, no. Like, I get it, but you're still not coming through. The facts are still not coming through. Like, it's not. Like, I'm trying to figure out, why couldn't Hailey bring Justin on the show? Does she have siblings? Why couldn't she bring her parents on the show? Her dad? Why do you have to actually, it makes sense as to why people are putting 2 and 2 together. It all makes sense. Why you gotta bring your granny on the show when I bring my granny on the show? Why you gotta film your real home when you thought that I filmed my real home just to find out that it was a set? And then you want to try to sit up here and clown me, trying to say, well, it's not even her real home. Well, bitch, how would you even know that? Like,
Seems a bit intense. It's also not that big of a deal. You cannot trademark who is in the kitchen with you when you are cooking. Hailey's entire YouTube channel is full of her bringing on random guests to do whatever segment they are working on. She's brought the Jenners, Kim Kardashian, Addison.
So why she didn't bring her grandmother and what's in my bathroom? But she decided to bring her grandmother and what's in my kitchen. Right? Right? Right.
Ray, the Kid Leroy, Justine Skye, Emma Chamberlain, and anyone else you can think of. The copy and claim is a very forced argument because there is no real winner or loser. You can't trademark a concept like a fur moment or a cooking segment.
No,
These
but
aren't
you
things
can
that
have
be
a sense of
trademarked,
discernment.
and to be
You
honest,
can't use your
Selena is a
common
singer
motherfucking
/ actress,
sense.
but yet has a bunch of influencer-themed businesses. It makes more sense for Hailey, who isn't an actress or singer, yet is still famous, to release a cooking show or a beauty line because she's famous for her style and aesthetic. It's not really copying if it's in her realm of work. Another dense claim is that Hailey is copying Selena when she says okie dokie in her show.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
You cannot trademark a slogan or a phrase that has been around
That's
since
how you know this is vague. Because that's how you know. You saying you cannot trademark, you cannot trademark, you cannot trademark. So that's your only argument, right? Because you know that she's imitating her. She's imitating her. I used to be on the debate team, baby. So I know how this works. I know how this works. They're trying to bring up old facts. Okie dokie, a playful variant of okay, emerged in the 1930s as a lighthearted way to express agreement or affirmation, becoming a common American expression. I used to be on the debate team. Stop. I get that you're trying to form an argument, but your argument is vague. Your argument is not convincible, honey. Like, it's redundant at this point. Oh, you cannot trademark this. You cannot trademark that. You cannot trademark this. You cannot trademark this. Okie dokie. She can't come up with nothing else. She can't say gotcha. She can't say you got it. She can't say, I don't know. Shit, anything. Bet. I don't know. Why does she gotta say okie dokie? Just like Selena, right? It's just such a coincidence. It's just such a coincidence, right? Okay.
The 1930s. That's like me trying to trademark the word the, or trademarking the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. If Hailey said something like, being rare is about being comfortable with yourself, then sure, I'd say it was a choice to use the word rare, knowing Selena has had an entire identity crisis over it. But something like okie dokie is far too general for anyone on this planet to claim as their own saying, especially when Hailey said it differently.
Okie dokie.
Another copying claim is Hailey and Selena's clothing and or poses. During the Hailey vs. Selena hate train of 2023, we made an entire video detailing every single copying allegation made during that time. It's 20 minutes long and has aged gracefully because every copying claim people have used against Hailey has been mentioned in this video, so go check it out. It feels pointless to repeat the information since the same thing is spreading on social media again, but I'll clarify the ones that are the most popular. We have this hand gesture pose that both Hailey and Selena have done. The funny part is that this hand gesture has been around since the early days of YouTube when beauty gurus used to show off their makeup or skincare. It's a basic gesture, like holding up a peace sign for a photo. But a certain documentary doesn't do enough research to realize that the date on this photo is photoshopped. This photo where Hailey is wearing a black tank top and is doing this pose was in 2022, June 2022 to be exact. Selena's is in March 2023. So this whole time, everyone is crying over an inaccurate date, which makes you think, if that date was manipulated, who knows what other dates are manipulated unless we do the research ourselves. Most of these claims about copying hairstyles or clothes are simply irrelevant. They don't hold up when you look closer, often manipulated to fit a narrative that people are eager to believe. The truth is, similarities are often just coincidences, nothing more.
Similarities are not coincidences. And it's so funny because it's like, it's so funny because if the commentator actually had common sense, the audience is saying that Hailey has an obsession with Selena, hence the copying claims. So it would make sense to say that, you know, the similarities, that's where similarities come into play. You know what I'm saying? That's when the coincidences come into play, because when someone is obsessed with you, they're going to copy the things that you do.
A long time ago, Selena used to have a reputation for copying Miley Cyrus, often wearing the same exact thing as her or doing something risky after Miley popularized it.
That's why I can't take this video serious, because why are you only focused on... You're so focused on Selena. Instead of focusing on Selena and Hailey, just themselves, you want to bring up other people to further highlight Selena in a negative way. And that's why I can't take this commentator serious. But maybe they're doing it to further back up their argument. But how does it back up your argument when you just said that similarities could just be coincidences? It could just be a coincidence, right? So why are you saying that Selena could possibly be copying Miley back in the day when that could have just possibly been a coincidence? Why is it just a coincidence for Hailey, but it's not a coincidence for Selena? That's why I don't take this commentator. That's why I don't take this commentator serious. I don't care. You just want to paint Selena in a negative light, and you trying to paint Hailey in a positive light, and it's not working. I see through it. Period.
The infamous tongue pose, Selena would constantly get lashings for copying Miley, especially since this was around the time people accused her of stealing Nick from Miley. As we can see, it's the same story this time around, but the roles are reversed. For instance, people are considering Hailey and Selena wearing the same earring as copying. As if these people don't have stylists picking out clothes and accessories from the same rack. Imagine you couldn't wear stud earrings because your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend from middle school wore stud earrings? In another instance, we have a white tank top. That's it. Hailey is wearing a white basic tank top, and so is Selena. It's almost as if it's the most basic piece of clothing invented by man right next to the black tank top. The creator didn't even bother to fact check the dates, saying it was in 2024, when it was really in 2023. Both tops aren't even similar, and Hailey was sporting that top since 2022, so by that logic, she did it first both in 2022 and 2024. In another one, we have both Selena and Hailey in a
they have to be the day right after. The day right after. And that's what people who are obsessed with you do. It's like, once you do something first and you do it like cool, you know what I'm saying? Once you do something first, they gotta do it right after you. Like, right after you, bro. Right after you. Like, oh my God. Like, ugh. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hailey was on her Instagram looking, searching, and she saw this picture, thought, oh my gosh, she looks so cute. I hate it. Let me go ahead and try to look better. Let me go ahead and do the same thing, but let me just try to look better. And did the same thing. I could bet you she did some shit like that. Like, I would not put that past her. I'm so sorry.
Bunch of patterns on it, and it seems like a cardigan style top, while Hailey's is just plain black with fur. In another instance, we have both of them in a pink dress. Nothing about either look is the same. The hairstyles are different, the makeup is different, the earrings are different, the dresses are different, and even the color pink is different. This collage is manipulated to make you think they are similar. For starters, Selena's dress is short with a baby pink tone. She wore it on the red carpet with The Weeknd. Her makeup is kept light and simple. Hailey's dress is more of a Barbie pink color with a shine. It's completely backless and goes all the way down to the floor. Her hair is up in a high ponytail and she has a dramatic eyeliner wing. How in the world are these two outfits similar enough to cause this much drama? The only similar thing about Hailey and Selena is the fact that they were both styled by a stylist.
It's not like they're gonna wear the exact same dress.
Your favorite celebrities do not style themselves, especially for a red carpet event. The rest of the copying claims are as bogus as the ones before, and like I said, we have a video explaining everything, and we also have a chart at the end of the video tallying up who wore what first. As you can see here, the dates prove that Hailey did most things first, yet somehow she's the one copying Selena. Hailey was seen rocking this bee necklace since 2021, one that Selena debuted in 2025 for her new music video with Benny. When the double standard was pointed out, fans were quick to say, well duh, Benny's name starts with a B. Well, how come this grace isn't afforded to Hailey when getting J tattooed on her ring finger? Instead, a ring from 2012 that no one remembers is brought up as evidence that Hailey copied Selena. What we should be talking about is the fact that Selena got the same star tattoo that Hailey got on her ring finger.
Okay, that's the only thing. This was the part that I was really concerned about. So they said that, okay, so they said, oh, this is so weird. October, Hailey, 19, 2020. That's when she got this tattoo. And now Selena in 2022, she has that star on her ring finger. I don't understand that. Like, I don't get that. Can anybody explain that to me as to why? I don't get it.
Finger also tatted on her ring finger 2 years later. I feel like that's more of a unique coincidence than what we should be talking about is the fact that Selena got the same star tattoo that Hailey got on her ring finger, also tatted on her ring finger 2 years later. I feel like that's more of a unique coincidence than a letter from the alphabet.
That is.
Instead, we're talking about the G tattoo, a photo manipulated to make it seem like the font and size were the same when Selena's is larger and by her neck, while Hailey's G tattoo is much smaller and directly behind her ear. Tiny behind the ear tattoos are one of the most common, by the way. The G tattoo was part of a group project in 2013 to support a pastor from Hillsong Church whose daughter, Georgia Veach, was diagnosed with a rare brain disorder. Several celebrities got the tattoo, including Justin, and this girl, Julia Zingaro, who got a G tattoo right behind her ear, and one that's more similar to Selena's than Hailey. Hailey was photographed with it in June 2015, and so was Selena. But the media only made mention of Selena's in October 2015 in a Refinery interview when Selena formally said that she got the tattoo for her little sister Gracie, 4 months after Hailey spoke about her tattoo. And just to clarify, the copying claim in Hollywood is outdated because Hollywood is smaller than it seems, and all these people have stylists who are picking new items and trends from the same rack. To say Hailey can't wear fur because Selena is wearing fur is just hateful. To say Hailey can't have her hair in a bun because Selena has her hair in a bun is pathetic. To say Hailey can't pose a certain way because Selena's posed that way just once is deranged. Even down to the Rare Beauty vs. Rhode campaigns and concepts. It's actually Rare Beauty that has taken some inspiration from Hailey's Rhode and other marketing campaigns, as you see here, yet nobody is accusing Selena of anything. I find it interesting that very unique and specific concepts are done by Rhode first and then later by Rare Beauty. But again, you can't really invent concepts, but the double standard is clear. In one of Rhode's campaigns, Hailey was larger in scale than the woman. a concept seen in Selena's new music video with Benny Blanco. But this isn't something you see because of confirmation bias. You're only going to want to seek out, interpret, and remember information in a way that supports what you already believe while ignoring or dismissing evidence that contradicts it. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes the dates are manipulated to trick you into thinking Hailey did something second, when in reality, majority of the copying claims against her are from outfits she wore first. Another point made in the documentary is that Hailey copies Selena not just by wearing t-shirt or jeans, but by saying certain phrases or words such as story, body, or heart. As you'll see in the following examples, it's not word for word, but rather one word is mentioned. One phrase is about telling your own story.
I realized that everybody else seemed to be narrating my life for me.
Yes.
So why don't I put something out that is my side of the story? It's not.
Been watching Justin Bieber seasons on YouTube.
But what really happened through the process of doing
No. You're not finna sit up. So now you want to sit up here and make it seem like it was just words, right? Like it's just words. Why? Let's look at Selena. Selena has her hair pulled back. She has on a red lip and she has on a black colored dress. I'm looking at her hand gestures too. My side of the story. She has her hair down, okay. Red lips, black colored dress. Okay.
What really happened through the process of doing seasons is I realized that I was able to tell my story about who I was from my own mouth instead of people from the outside being able to tell my story for me.
I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this.
I wonder why she didn't show the whole video, because I wanted to look at the hand gestures. See, these people are very calculated when they're trying to hide the truth. Because I was trying to look at the hand gestures, but they didn't show that part. They wanted to put in some type of stupid video to try to cover that shit up. Why? I wanted to see it.
Out of 10 times, whenever a celebrity speaks in an official interview, they speak in publicist lingo after being media trained, and oftentimes they will all say the same thing. Here are some examples.
It's another version of storytelling that we don't think of as storytelling, because like how we look and present ourselves and the aesthetic that we like and it's intimate, it's nice. It's another way of spending time with my fans.
People should expect the real me in this, and probably the me that they've never gotten to know. Certainly not in the past few years, where everything is through the lens of the media, as opposed to, hey, it's me.
For over a decade,
and as you can see, she said it in completely different words. She didn't use certain keywords like me, my heart, my story, and da-da-da-da. No, she said it in her own way, period, point blank. Like, people are not stupid. You can't sit up here and try to play with a person's intelligence just because you want to flip a narrative. It's not gonna work.
Has expressed that making multiple documentaries is to tell her side of the story and not what has been painted in the media. Same thing with Taylor Swift and her desire to publicize everything that went down with Scooter Braun. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's entire brand is telling their side of the story instead of the media. We see this quote with many other celebrities, such as Vanderpump Rules star Ariana Madix when she announced her book, saying, "But now is the time that I'm fully telling my side of the story." British singer Cheryl released her autobiography, Cheryl, My Story, in 2012, aiming to address misconception, saying, "It was time to put out my side of the story and the truth." Celebrities and talking about their side of the story and not what the media says about them is a tale as old as time. Same thing as celebrities, particularly women, when they talk about how they're no longer young and looking a certain way, as many women in the industry get a lot of heat for aging. Selena said,
I didn't feel good about my body. I had such a beautiful time shaping this dress. That was one of the moments where I was like, I don't have to be that 19-year-old body shape anymore, because I'm not.
And that was somehow similar to what Hailey said.
I think I'm learning is I'm not 19 anymore. I'm 24 now. I feel like my body has changed the most even this last year. And that's what happens as you grow up and you become more of a woman. Your body fills out in different ways. Like, I think I have more hips now than I ever did when I was younger.
Even though the only similarity is reflecting on being 19, and when Hailey talks about her body changing, she's talking about from the age of 23 to 24, not 19. Hailey was 19 in 2015, which is the year she started becoming more famous as she was more in the public eye, which is the context behind her interview.
I saw a comment and someone said she gained a massive amount of weight. I said, a massive amount of weight? And then every other thing was like, oh, well, she must be pregnant. She must be pregnant. And I'm like, I get so thrown off when people just start talking about another woman's weight or like calling out how their body is supposed to look or even commenting on if they've lost or gained weight, or it's just like, ugh, it's gross to me.
So she's reflecting on being in the public eye, but wasn't talking about body changes at the age of 19. And even if she was, this is a common theme with women, especially those in the industry.
It's a bigger issue. You know, it's not just about me, it's about all the other young girls. It's like, what, I'm supposed to succumb to this your ideal image of what thin is?
You guys get the point. Another example, which is also grasping at straws, was talking about how Selena mentioned how she wanted people to know her heart, and then they bring up Hailey, who talks about how she wants people to know her intentions, specifically saying, I want people to know Hailey for Hailey.
Before Seasons came out, I really felt like I always battled with the idea that people didn't really know me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't
Why are they
Hailey
not
for
showing
Hailey.
the actual
But she
video
makes the
of her?
mistake of mentioning heart, trademarked by Selena.
I wish people just knew my heart, and I wish people just knew me for me, and it's so hard to reveal that part of yourself because people only see you in photos, you know, from the outside.
And the commentator makes a point to mention that this interview was so deep on the internet that you couldn't find it.
What do you wish more people knew about you?
My heart.
Insinuating that Hailey had to spend like 10 hours of her time deep in Selena lore so she can go steal her quote in an interview.
What?
So already we have a case of confirmation bias, where you're going to recall information in a way that confirms or supports your prior beliefs or values. The interview wasn't that hard to find. It was literally Selena doing press for the movie Rudderless, and it went viral during the Hailey hate train in 2023. And anyone who cares about research and context for their audience could have found it too. And the quote in question is literally a derivative from the Bible. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart.
I don't want to watch
this generic
no
since
more.
everyone
It's
always
stupid.
talks about
I'm
their
sorry.
intention.
I don't
it's
like
very
the
much
arguments
giving,
they're
as long as you know
making.
your heart and intentions are pure, which is a quote that went
I don't
viral on
like-
Facebook back in like 2008. Selena didn't trademark it, and it wasn't that intricate or unique to be held up as an example of plagiarism either. It's kind of like when Selena released her song, Kill 'Em With Kindness, and people love to attribute that quote to her, but it was already a well-known quote in which the song was derived from. We see this in pop culture all the time, such as with Sorry Not Sorry, Shake It Off.
And like, I'm not, because I'm getting irritated. I don't even want to keep watching this no more. I don't. Because I could just see like it's just nonsense. I just can't. I will go ahead and I will leave the original video link down below for you to go ahead and watch it for yourself. I may or I may not react to the I don't know, like the fashion, like the comparisons within their fashion. I think I will sit down and actually take a view of that as well. Yeah, I don't have too much to say. It just sounds like the whole video sounds like, you know, like when everybody's talking in class and then that one person, they get caught, and then like they'd be like, well, everybody else talking, why you only call me out? I don't know. That's kind of like what I'm getting from this video. It's just like they keep involving other people to like back up their argument, and it's forced, it's reached, it's not, no, I just can't. And it references from the Bible. Just shut up. This is so stupid. Oh my God. Like, I'm not convinced. Like, I'm just not whatsoever. So, I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think that, I don't know. Because I don't understand why Selena has that tattoo. That's the only thing that I don't understand within the whole entirety of the video. Because I'm convinced that, you know, Hailey has an obsession, but why the fuck do Selena get that star tattoo? It don't have J on it, but why does she get that star tattoo? Can anybody explain that to me? Because that's weird. That is weird. But that's all I gotta say for this video, guys. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Deuces.
See hoes don't